We are international developers and manufacturers of GPS vehicle trackers with a head office in Moscow, Russia. We would like to talk to you about those functionality and technologies which, in our experience, seems to be leading on the telematics market. Well, when a customer asks you to find the fuel control solution, the fuel level sensor immediately crosses your mind. But when you need information about engine speed, engine coolant temperature, mileage, and any other data from the onboard computer, then this task seems to be much more creative. Long-term work with CAN-bus allowed us to control these parameters. Yes, it is not our invention, but we are proud of it, because with the help of our equipment, partners found a solution in such spheres as fleet management, car sharing companies, emergency services, and many others, to be precisely with the help of us and the alloy. There are two ways to work with the CAN-bus in our devices. A ready-made set of parameters from the logs taken from the CAN-bus and decoded by our technical specialists, so-called decoded files, and custom parameters in order to client, in case your client has requested monitoring of some exclusive data. Well, let's talk about everything in order. Developing CAN-bus in our devices, we focused on decoding parameters and collecting them in separate files. And we gained very much help of our partners in this matter. With time, we have significantly added and continue adding to the list of the supported vehicles so that our partners using our equipment can easily connect and configure them. But put case that your client ordered to install the tracker in some rare 2014 track and you didn't find it in the list of the supported vehicles. And what to do in this case? To buy an adapter or maybe to buy another tracker? No, you just can contact our technical support and they will give you all the necessary instructions what to do. A little spoiler, it will be with the help of a special program called Logger and with the attentive assistance. Well, but for sure, not all customers are satisfied with the information provided by the basic parameters. The most inquisitive specialists use CAN-bus data in such niches of transport monitoring as agriculture, rental services, and cargo transportation companies, and many others. And here we provide them the opportunity to independently configure the devices by parsing parameters by identifiers known to them. And also custom parameters allow to connect the additional equipment using CAN protocol. Sorry. And by the way, we implemented two CAN lines in our device, Signal S2653. It allows to receive data from two different buses at a time by the decoding files. And moreover, it allows to at the same time work with custom parameters connected over using CAN interface and also connect fuel level and fuel consumption sensors. And when you are faced with a task to find the required parameter that you haven't yet identified, you can turn to CAN-SPY additional program implemented in our NDC configurator. The idea is that you can decode information from the CAN-bus with the device connected to the vehicle and the ignition turned on. And well, let's return to the topical problems and here I want to mention those ones faced by your clients, owners of fleets, rental services, cargo transportation companies. These problems are safety, driving accuracy, vehicle condition, and many others. The right solution of this problem is well known to all of us. is equal driving function, widely implemented in Verilog and supported in all models of our devices. In collaboration with Verilog, we achieved a lot, allowing to control driving time, harsh acceleration and braking, engine RPMs, speeding, sharp maneuvers, and many others. And here, once again, I want to remind you about current custom parameters, which in eco-driving serve as a reliable data whether the safety belt is fastened, whether the side lights are turned on, and many others. For example, service information about condition of the vehicle, engine cooling level, its temperature, oil pressure. Who can say what technologies are currently making our lives easier? Yeah, that's right, wireless. And we all sometimes try to simplify our lives. And that's exactly what the people who had invented Wi-Fi and Bluetooth did. Otherwise, we would still be pulling a wire from one device to another. In our turn, we simplified the life of our partners by implementing the fuel level, temperature, tile temple sensors, wireless CAN adapter, and also headset connection via Bluetooth. And maybe now some of you are wondering, but what about the connection of the carbon dioxide sensor? We put them on every object, and here we will say, don't worry, it's okay, we even implemented such a sensor as well. We did it with the same custom parameters. You can connect any sensor with the information or description of the transmitted parameters. But it doesn't mean that we completely leave this task for you. No, we are constantly working to increase the number of the supported hardware. And for those who are faced with a poor GSM coverage problem in places like moorings, mines, and any others far from civilization, we offer a solution that allows you to transfer all the accumulated data using Wi-Fi. For example, a dump truck or any other heavy vehicle goes out of the base, moves around a certain location, and during the day and upon the completion of its work, it comes back and transfers all the accumulated data during the day. And here I want to say that Navtelecom is not only hardware, it's a whole ecosystem. It's about our software that makes configuration and integration with devices incredibly convenient. You no longer need to go to the site to carry out the diagnostics and update the firmware or do the same action with each device. Our NTC control mobile application and DRC cloud service became a solution. Our mobile application, available for Android, allows you to make diagnostics, set basic configurations, or update tracker firmware, having only a smartphone or a tablet. And it doesn't require the direct access to the tracker. It can be done remotely via the internet or Bluetooth. And for managing a large number of devices, we created a kind of device manager, DRC cloud service. With its help, you can easily load the same configuration files, also update firmware, and send commands to a large number of devices at a time. And also I want to mention that all these programs are absolutely free and work with all models of our equipment. And more and more popularity is gained by 4G and even 5G networks. Somewhere they gradually replace the networks of old generation, and somewhere the constant implementation takes place. For most usual tasks, of course, using 2G is sufficient, but with the need for more stable work and work with a large amount of data, the use of 4G LTE networks becomes justified. So we can develop new models of our devices, smart and signal, with extended functionality and support of 4G and Wi-Fi. Thank you for your attention, dear partners and dear colleagues. If you have any questions, I will be eager to answer them.
We are happy user of your devices, and I want to recommend them to our worldwide customers, but please make English manual.
Yep, we put all our efforts to do that, and I'm personally translating it and finalizing it, and soon it will be coming soon. No question?
There's a quick question, possibly. Thank you, Karina. Thank you, Ekaterina, for the presentation. May I ask you a quick question? Do you have experience with the smoke detection sensors?
With the smoke detection, personally, no. Maybe my colleagues from Russia did, but personally,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Also, they may share the protocol for some specific models manufactured in specific years in specific locations. So did you face, were all your conversations with the manufacturers smooth? Or maybe you faced some challenges? Was that the question? Okay.
Well, I hope I got it right. And if you talk about the determination of the parameters, of the specific vehicle.
Let me make it easier for them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's try one more. Thank you.
Basically, if you want to connect to any canvas-based vehicle, you need to read the protocols, or at least you need to have the gates open to communicate with the canvas. If the manufacturer closed these ports for you, how are you going to read the parameters? How are you going to get readings on the canvas? Because, as Sajjad said, more and more we are seeing car manufacturers having their own protocol. They want to keep it for themselves and eventually launch the service for their clients themselves. Any hardware manufacturer will face this in the future. If there is no gate open to communicate with the canvas, it's going to be impossible. So he's asking, how are you going to tackle this issue in the future?
Yeah, maybe thank you for clarifications. I got this question, but I need assistance of my technical specialist, because I'm not so competent, not competent enough to answer it, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
About canvas, maybe not linked to this question, but just to let you know, I'm the author of Canvas Cloud Decoding Service. It's free for everyone, just to make a community of people who decodes Canvas. It's a server. You can upload your Canvas raw log data into server and get sometimes already parsed data. And as a very important addition, we have a Telegram chat, and it's more than 200 people already in this chat, so you can join and talk about Canvas decoding. I can give you a link and everything.
Okay. The other one is decoding or reversing delay, as you say, and there are a lot of groups, even in GitHub, they have BBC files, which is the car fingerprints, and they aggregate. They sort of revise the engineering based on the raw data that's coming from each vehicle, and particularly get to know, okay, this means fuel, this means what, this means what. It's a sort of crowdsourcing solution, but there are two elements: where you get the data from and how to revise engineer the data. Many successful groups they have done, and they have a list of fingerprints for many of the vehicles, especially like Mercedes and the other German group, which is a big challenge. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Ekaterina, for your presentation. And